I don't know where she came from, kinda turned me upside down. I just don't know what to do. I wanna spend the night at hers and bring her one of my t-shirts, so it smells like her perfume. Now I really get what the love songs are talking about, and I just wanna tell her how I feel, scream it out loud.
It's a chuffing big bus.
So some of you will be saying, Andy, for goodness sake, we've seen all this before, but I just wanted to remind you of what I got my hands on. Now, fully fitted kitchen, the oven and the microwave were working, everything looked tickety-boo. Or did it? Or did it really? Well, as I'm showing you around the place with my happy new purchase smiley face, what I didn't understand is that my Aura wasn't exactly what I hoped it would be. Those inverters you're looking at now soon stopped working because what it turned out is that the 4 big batteries were basically knackered. I suspected as much when I bought the vehicle because it had been stood for quite a while and those batteries look pretty old. There's also 2 other batteries that I think have gone to the same wet lead acid battery in the sky also. You'll also see in a minute that the bodywork I also knew needed a bit of work, and I'd had an intermittent light driving back down for an ABS sensor on the right, which I knew had just been changed. So that turned out to be a new wheel bearing. Again, I knew something was amiss with the steering, so these weren't unexpected. There you go, those 4 batteries are now going into the bin, as are those. So the kit stopped working. I went through all kinds of angst to understand, was it the inverters that weren't working, was it the batteries that weren't working. You'll see subsequently how I went around investigating that and finding out what the problems were. There's also a bit of rust here and there. I knew underneath, having had it inspected, it's going to need some work in the next couple of years to make sure the underneath is all tickety-boo. But nonetheless, you can see that the interior was looking pretty good, but I didn't need all of that. I only needed a dinette and 4 seats at the front, so I've got to get rid of all of that infrastructure. The fridge needed a bit of work because you'll see there's almost no shelves in there. The sink at the back, we have no waste tanks, it just goes out onto the floor, and I didn't know what on earth that was or how to make it work. Oh, and I had to switch it on, but I didn't know what it was. So I had a great journey of discovery. I needed to find my Aura. I needed to discover my Aura. And part of that was discovering what was good about my Aura and what I was disappointed in about my Aura. But the first task, the very first task, once I'd finished looking through all of these and understanding the equipment and the coach that I bought, because I've never done this before, the first thing I had to do was to get her bodywork sorted out.
Have you ever lost your head? Have you felt like you were out of breath when you saw her in that dress? When your heart is beating fast and you're sweating and you can't stop looking at her smile, then you've been in love. That's how you know you've been in love. There's something about the way she laughs and the way she always dances when she thinks nobody sees. When she's gone, I miss her so. I tell her, baby, please don't go. I think you should stay.
Wow. Just wow. Wow, what an amazing little camper van at that. No! What an amazing paint job. Okay, they cleaned the glass and cleaned it up to make it look pretty as well, but you won't have noticed there's some stone chips on the front that are now gone, which we'll go and have a look at in a second. Here we go. Beautiful straight black. No fly spray on, bits of fly and insect guts on there yet, but that's her coming. So, doesn't she look magnificent? Doesn't she? All the stone chips are gone. We didn't respray the plastic bits at the bottom, but we did do the valance at the front. That god-awful Runcorn. Sorry everybody from Runcorn. Sorry for everybody from St Helens. I know you hate me for this, but doesn't she look magnificent without those transfers on the side and all the sticky residues? So, resealed the windows. Those windows are glued on, so that's been patched up. I think there's a couple of little bits need to be touched up at the back, 'cause I'm getting a couple of leaks in the back window now. But doesn't she look so much better? And I really did it to get rid of all those little bits of bubbling up little bits of rust before they became something serious and something that's just going to become a problem in the future. Doesn't she just look? Isn't my aura gleaming? Absolutely gleaming.
And I really get what the love songs are talking about. Oh, and I just wanna tell her how I feel, scream it out loud. Have you ever been in love? Have you ever lost your head? Have you felt like you were out of breath when you saw her in that dress? When your heart is beating fast and you're sweating, you can't stop looking at her smile, then you've been in love. That's how you know you've been in love.
It was all inverting, and then that one has just gone overload, and those two have gone into don't like it mode. So that one is giving me an overload signal, and those two are now into charging warnings. Okay, let's work out what they are. I don't know if you can see that, but 6.36 top left, 3.4 top right, 8.31 bottom left, and 9.23 bottom right.
So this should be reading over 12.5 volts per battery. So it doesn't take a genius to work out that when you're at 3 and 4, they're properly dead. Anything less than 10 volts and you're dead. But now let's move on to taking out the interior. So here I am taking out a pair of seats under quick time, so you can see how easy it is. I'll show you in a minute. It's 4 bolts. It's not hard. And then we're going to move on to building some bunk beds. And get it ready so that we can start enjoying the vehicle. You'll just see on your right, oh there's a sneaky preview of the sofa bed that went in too.
Right, you'll be wondering why I'm videoing the coach. It's because I've moved a load of seats. So, no seats. No seats. And at the back, if I move backwards, no seat. So, bunk bed's going in here. No seats. So I've been selling them. People are looking out for really nice luxurious seats for their campers or band buses, stuff like that. So I'm going to keep that dinette for now because it's by the kitchen for a dining area. So this set will go, that set will go. So if we look at this table leg, you can see it hooks round this lip and then it just bolts with 2 bolts back there on that rail. And if I look under the seat, so there you go, seat leg hooked around that rail, no bolts there, and on this side just 2 big bolts in this rail, and that's the same rail at the table. You can see it behind the socket goes. So actually 2 bolts and out they come.
So here's my conservatory for a couple of weeks while I got the chairs out, sorted and sent.
There we go, 1 set of chairs on a pallet, quite big. And then beyond that, there you go, tables. Bit sweaty, just carried 3 pairs of seats, 4 tables, table leg. Anyway, now we can get a sense for how big it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it would be 10 to that bulkhead because these chairs need to go. Got to be flexible, change your plan. Bunk beds don't really fit behind that dinette, unfortunately. By the time I've reclined the chair, the 2 chairs that can recline this way, we're struggling out of space. But somebody suggested we use this end. Now I've removed that chair, because that's been sold as well. I've got a flat wall to build bunk beds on. Not just a pretty face, and I'm not talking about me. Right, bunk beds in the corner. Oh, fortunately they're just inside the aisle. The top one stuck out a little bit more. I need to sort that out tomorrow. But the structure's in and it is solid as a proverbial not moving at all, which is what we want. So, screwed to that wall, screwed down to the batten. This frame is screwed through the ceiling and all of that is attached to the rail on the bottom. Happy days.
I don't know where she came from. It kinda turned me upside down. I just don't know what to do. I wanna spend the night with her. Bring her one of my t-shirts so it smells like her perfume. Have you ever been in love? Have you ever lost your head? Have you felt like you were out of breath when you saw her in that dress? When your heart is beating fast and you're sweating and you can't stop looking at her smile, then you've been in love. That's how you know you've been in love.
We now have bunk beds. Took 3 days really, maybe 4, including working at home. But you can see the end panel's gone in okay. We'll carpet that and tidy that up. Actually got to be pleased with that. Got to be pleased with that. Cool. And we now have this. There's the sofa bed pulled out. I'm now just going to attach that to the back rail, which is what I'm going to work out now. Cool. You see lots of people do bus conversion videos and the first thing they do is they empty the vehicle, strip everything down, take it down to bare metal and they start putting it back together again. I'm not really a subscriber to that for a couple of reasons. I don't want to spend 2 years doing up a vehicle and not really being able to enjoy it, or 6 months, or you know, we all work, we all have busy lives. So I decided that whatever vehicle I was going to get was going to evolve into a few stages, and it's obviously down to the vehicle that you can get. So this beast, step 1 was to sell the interior. So it came with 40 seats and 7 tables. I was going to keep, of those 40 seats that were in the passenger compartment, I've only kept 8. I've kept 8 because I've got a dinette for 4 and I've got 2 rows in front of me. Here's one of them, so that people can sit and watch as we're driving along. We're also due an MOT and we've now had some steering work doing, which I knew about, a bit of exhaust work done. We've had an inspection, not the MOT itself but the inspection, and 3 new tyres, and the tyres are £400 a pop. So what's it cost so far? Well, it cost me 32 grand to buy this bus. And some of you might go, my God, man, you're loaded with money. Not really. But if you look around at camper vans and converted vans, for decent ones, you're looking at 50 grand easily. So 32. I've just said that I've put some money in, net a couple K. So let's say we're up to 35 with a brand new MOT. And then I've spent some money on top of that. So I got it resprayed because the bodywork was just starting to bubble up here and there, and I wanted that taken care of straight away. That was 7.5. I needed a new wheel bearing. That was 1,500 quid. And a new light at the back, 220 quid. 220 quid for effectively a but don't get me started. So yes, it's an expensive endeavour. So let's just say that there's maybe another 10 grand being spent. So I'm in for about 45k. Now, because I'm treating this as a business and I'm going to offer this for glamping and things like that, then it's a business and it's a new startup, so that means that I can use what's called an AIA and offset the capital investments I've been making. So I've done my accounts and that's going to lead to a tax rebate. I'm going to be net into this for about 30k. So 30k, I have what you see here, which is the bus brought up to spec in terms of solar, batteries, interior, and we've got a blank canvas, and what a magnificent blank canvas. So what have we done so far? Like I said, took all the tables and chairs out and got them sold through eBay and some private. Like I said, that financially was very, very successful, but it's really nice gear. So that's cleared out the space completely. We've put the sofa bed in, and I've filled in the aisle where the sofa bed is, so that works a treat. And then I've built bunk beds for the kids opposite the dinette. And other than buying some pots and pans and an inversion hob for the kitchen, that's all I've done so far. So what's going to evolve? Well, the kitchen in the back is going to stay for a little while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit a toilet and a bathroom halfway down the bus. Once that's in and that's all working, and we're all happy and civilised with that, then this kitchen will move down to the big space that you can see down there. And that's because we want a galley kitchen so we can put a master suite in at the back here. And in fact, if I look at where the bunk beds are and the space that we've got, it's just about bob on for our master suite, so we'll just use these proportions. So what do I make of it so far? Well, I haven't got the electrics working. I keep getting an overload warning, and the guy that came and inspected it felt that was probably to do with the batteries being old, 2 of the batteries being old. So I can get it all fired up, but then I get this overload. So tomorrow, maybe the day after, I'll switch it all on with the consumer unit all switched off and flick them on one by one to see if there is a particular circuit that's causing a problem, because you never know, it might be just some bad wiring somewhere. So we'll diagnose that. I'm hoping that the new batteries will cure it. That is one massive microwave. Oven ain't exactly tiny neither. So in here, because it's one big fiberglass box, we've already got cold water, so all I have to do is add hot, and I can put a mixer valve for a shower in here. I think the electric hand dryer might have to come out, mind, but this will make a good shower cubicle temporarily for a while, so easy fix. So there we are. Aura is getting back her aura. Got to work out what to do with all this. Well, got to work out what to do. We're going to put a slimline TV unit opposite the sofa here. So this front is done with the 2 sets of seats. It's storage plus a TV that can come out, or we might just get a projector and project onto a sheet. So that's opposite the bed, opposite the sofa bed, and that means that we will still be able to get past it even when the sofa bed is out. But the challenge now for us is to start using it. I know what some of you are going to say. Get used to staying in lorry parks. Not so. There's a thriving American RV community in the UK, and there's over 150 campsites that'll take RVs today. So we're membership of all of those. Yes, this is rather different, and yes, it's rather large, but hey, you know, diversity is what makes life interesting. We're looking forward to getting out and about. Just need to get that MOT under the belt, and then we'll work out what works and what doesn't. So there's lots of evolution, like I said, while lots of repair, keep it on the road, keep her in good health, but create a new aura. Talk to you soon.
I don't know where she came from, kinda turned me upside down. I just don't know what to do. I wanna spend the night at hers and bring her one of my t-shirts, so it smells like her perfume. Now I really get what the love songs are talking